Come on, Pony, bite the wiener. Bite it. Come on, good Pony. That's it. Now bite it off. Bite off the wiener. Good Pony. Oh, no, Pony, he'll like that. Yeah.
Griffin Gaming's giving me some tough competition. Every single peasant, every single console fanboy that I've put on my list, I can no longer do because this motherfucker's getting to them before me.
What's the matter? Well, I would think you'd be used to failing by now.
You know, I thought I was lonely being the only person still doing this content, but now I really wish I was the only one doing it again. Daddy Frit just can't keep up with that level of production. And the hardest part about the job is keeping up with what the console fanboys are doing, because every day they're topping what they did before. And then I regret making the videos I do because the things they do the next day are even worse. And I don't even have enough time to cover it, because by the time I do, they do something even more idiotic, and I'm already too burnt out by then. Jesus Christ, listen to me being the whiniest bitch on the internet right now. Anyways, I don't know what's going on with the PlayStation fanboys. I think Microsoft has officially broken them, even more so than the doctors that dropped them on their heads already did. Whatever their condition is, it's gotten worse. I mean, that's both a good thing and a bad thing, because on one hand, video game discussion has now gotten super toxic, but on the other hand, they've bolstered my YouTube analytics and are pushing me close to 30k subs, so it's both a gift and a curse. I have to smoke my brain out, you know, take some mushrooms with a side of acid, maybe a little mescaline, then a good pack of IPAs, and 2 dab hits, and then I'm somewhat capable of dealing with the insane amount of pain that comes from having to read these comments. But hey, at least my YouTube channel's slowly getting to 30k subscribers. Well, what's the benefit in that, Papa Frit? I don't know. Okay, so this is what happened. Sony has decided to take down support for the PlayStation 3, the PS Vita, and the PSP stores. That's a lot of stores that people pretend they still use. Many were not pleased with this because it's one of the first signs of the horrors that are to come with an all-digital platform. I mean, things here on Steam have been fine. I think it's more of a Sony problem if you ask anyone. Anytime anybody complains about support for older games on newer consoles, the problems usually stay there. Because here on the PC, we don't really have any of those problems. You know, that's why we have things like emulators. The #1 place for video game preservation. The support you get for older games on consoles depend entirely on what Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft say you can play, or what they care to continue supporting. So 3 stores with a lot of games that people probably won't ever be able to see ever again are about to go down. I mean, perhaps if Sony actually finished their console before they released it, you know, not putting 8K on the box without there being any actual 8K support at launch, or maybe doing things like merging the stores from PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, Vita, and PSP. Is that so hard to do? Just merge the stores, or at least get all the games that are on those stores and move it to your new store? I don't know. This is why I game on PC. I don't want to have to deal with that kind of bullshit. I don't want to have to pull out another console just to play games that aren't available on the newer console yet, let alone actually having to keep that console, because some games will never get that support. It sucks, but those are one of the things you have to deal with when you buy a console, or at least one of the things you have to keep in mind. You wouldn't have to deal with it if Sony and Microsoft weren't such asshats, but Microsoft's actually doing a lot better job with that backwards compatibility support, so I gotta give them some credit. They seem a lot more invested in supporting older games, while also giving those games resolution and frame rate boosts. You know, PlayStation fanboys don't want to admit it, but Microsoft's actually doing a better job of catering to their consumers right now. You see, instead of turning to Sony and telling them, hey, this is bullshit, why are you closing down those stores? Why aren't you giving us better backwards compatibility support? Why aren't you giving us better subscription services? They instead want to blame Gamepass. I'm not even joking about this. They believe that Gamepass is going to be the ultimate evil of the gaming industry. PlayStation fanboys have come up with this crazy theory that none of it was Sony's doing, even though it was, you know, Sony was the one who decided that they were gonna shut down those stores. It wasn't Microsoft. They seem to believe that Game Pass is the reason Sony is doing this. They think that Sony wants to put all of these games on a subscription service, put all their future first-party titles on a subscription service, and downgrade the quality of them and somehow ruin gaming forever. I know, the mental gymnastics here is crazy. I don't know how they come to this conclusion, and I still can't figure out why they never get mad at Sony for making these decisions. It's always gotta be Microsoft's fault. There's no logical consistency here. Sony ponies do not operate on rational thought. And because they are so sure of themselves that Game Pass is the problem here, and not the fact that corporations are controlling every aspect of gaming, they are now starting to run a Game Pass boycott by getting on their knees and begging to people not to subscribe to Game Pass. Because if they do, it will cause Sony to try and copy Microsoft and then ruin their platform, and we are all doomed to be under subscription services forever, and physical media will die. I don't know what it is with PlayStation fanboys. It can never just be, oh, this could cause some harm. It always has to be a catastrophe for them. The entire gaming ecosystem will go under if Sony goes under, because they seem to think that Sony is all there is in gaming. Pea-sized brain takes from these guys.
Please do not subscribe to Xbox Game Pass. Please do not tell or demand Sony to create a Game Pass competitor. No, we don't need or want any of this in the industry. I am very polite and say please, and some of you Game Pass shows can't show me the same respect. Pathetic.
No! You frickin' fricks! You guys have to ruin it! You guys have to ruin it! Why? Why does it have to be like this? Why does it have to be like this?
You know, he could have gotten away with it being a joke if he didn't follow it up with some actual sincere points. See, that's the thing about PlayStation fanboys. They will turn around and say they are trolling when they can't take the heat. They always do it. It's quite pathetic. Just stand by what you said so I can smack you even harder, please. So they don't want a competitor to Game Pass, because Game Pass is bad. They can never really explain why Game Pass is bad. They always seem to rely on the argument that Game Pass is a mere subscription service where you're only renting and not owning video games. Yet they also seem to forget that you can still buy the games on Game Pass. You can still buy the games physically. Game Pass is merely an option. And you know what else is an option? PlayStation Now. It's also a place where you can only rent games. Do you see them complaining about PlayStation Now? No, you don't see them complaining about it because they're fucking hypocrites.
Releasing your AAA single-player games day one won't be sustainable, thus making their huge first party feel small and AA and filled with multiplayer and filler content, just to make consumers keep paying for Game Pass every month. You'll see 1 or 2 AAA games on Game Pass, but it'll be rare.
Well, when you got studios like Bethesda under your wing, nothing feels small. Game Pass does not exist as the sole driving force of Microsoft's source of income. They seem to think that Microsoft is putting all of their money on Game Pass, yet they're also forgetting that Microsoft is giving people the option to buy these games. Again, Game Pass is just an option. Maybe they would have a point if Microsoft didn't allow you to buy the games and Game Pass is the only place you can get them, but that's not the case. And even then, what's wrong with having AA games? Shit, Hellblade is a AA game. They have nothing. They're desperate. Desperate to attack something they dislike so much because it's not made by Sony.
Subscribing to Xbox Game Pass will make sure Microsoft to make AA games and not AAA single-player ones like Sony's. Listen to what Matt Booty says. And Xbox Game Pass, it is not good for gaming.
Fuck, PlayStation fanboys making me do homework. Okay, fine. Play that clip, Charlie.
Of game that we are looking for from the studios that we've acquired recently, which are, they're not going to be 90-hour AAA games, but what they are going to be are things that are super well crafted, that will have as close to AAA production values as we get, but we're going to scope them so that they can be done well by a smaller studio.
Well, I don't even know why he's using this clip as an example, because as far as I know, Sony doesn't have a single 90+ hour exclusive. I think most of their games are like, what, 10, 12 hours? I mean, they're mostly movies anyway. I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. They want to achieve a AAA look, but make more well-crafted, more well-structured games that aren't full of filler content that push them to the 90-hour mark. Even then, the budget of a game has nothing to do with the end result. You have AAA games that don't look anywhere near as good as Hellblade, a AA game. Measuring the quality of a game based on the status of its budget is probably one of the most ignorant things you can do. See, the thing I want to know though is, why is this anything a PlayStation fanboy should be concerned about? They don't care about Game Pass, they don't care about Bethesda, and they don't care about what's being released on Xbox. This shouldn't concern them, but it does, because they're jealous. They outright state themselves that they're more than happy to pay $70 than they are to rent something. But the only reason they actually say that is because that is the only option they have, to pay the $70, while Microsoft is giving Xbox and PC players the option to rent these games or buy them. More ways of having access to a game is a good thing.
That's the main reason why Game Pass is bad. On top of no game ownership, imagine telling your devs that your game will drop day one on Game Pass for $1. You think they'll have any motivation to make stellar quality games? They'll end up doing fodders. RIP all talented devs under Xbox.
Are PlayStation fanboys unaware of the fact that you can buy these games on Game Pass? They say Game Pass is a trash service and no one cares about it, yet they're so concerned that everybody will go to it. It doesn't make any sense. And also, I don't want to hear a single PlayStation fanboy ever show any concern for developers. They showed absolutely zero remorse for the developers at Naughty Dog who were going through crunch just to make Neil Druckmann's abomination of a video game. I mean, these guys were practically bragging about the results of crunch. So don't even pretend like you give a shit about developers. But isn't it funny how they question how Microsoft will make any sort of money off of such a cheap subscription service? Yet when PlayStation Now makes an offer for a month-long membership for $1 to their shitty subscription service, you never see them complain or worry about how it will affect the quality of Sony's games or how Sony will make money. The desperation of PlayStation fanboys is great for fueling this channel's algorithm, but it's fucking up my mind. I want to understand them, I want to reason with them, but every time I try to, they're always in more favor of the corporation screwing them over than their own self-interest. Why wouldn't you want PlayStation to make their own version of Game Pass as an optional service? Why wouldn't you want more backwards compatibility support? Well, the truth is they do want all of these things, but not as much as they want to see their corporation at the top. That is a bigger investment to them than their own enjoyment out of the goddamn hobby. Embarrassing. A bunch of man-children trying to boycott Game Pass because Sony isn't providing as good of services to their own consumer base. And instead of demanding more from Sony, they demand Microsoft have less. Backwards ass logic. I don't even give a shit about Xbox or Microsoft. I was enjoying PC gaming without them just fine, but you know what? They came along and they added more to the PC platform.
This is exactly why I don't support Xbox Game Ass.
Oh my god, that was so funny!
Fucking amazing. Just the most amazing joke on the fucking planet. Oh my god, who could have seen that shit coming?
They are more interested in pushing filler content that will push those subscriptions than quality story-driven experiences. The focus becomes how much content can I get on the platform rather than the quality. Hashtag forever physical.
Okay, fuck, that's the last one. The levels of copium here are starting to give me liver cancer. I can't anymore. I don't have the insurance to pay for it. Plus, hospitals don't even take us popsicle stick people in anyway, so what the fuck. They're already judging the quality of these games without even actually subscribing to the service and trying it out for themselves. If you're gonna call games like the entire Yakuza series low quality filler content, but praised it when it was a PlayStation exclusive, then I know you're full of shit. Game Pass is not mandatory. You don't need it to play certain games. Every single game you see on Game Pass can be purchased on Game Pass and elsewhere if you want. This exists as an option. That's all it is. It's another way for people to access games, and it's taking off. Why the fuck am I even still ranting when I can be on Game Pass playing Yakuza right now? This is pathetic. PlayStation fanboys are still desperate for that dub. That one thing Sony announces that they can use for the next 3 months to fuel their boomer style memes. Whatever, I'm gonna end the video. I'm done. Like, dislike, comment, share, subscribe if you so choose to. I don't give a fuck. I'm in pain right now. Why am I doing this to myself? I'll see you bitches in the next video.
Free Congo sucks ass.